Michele.
I feel buoyant
And alive.
Hey there, good evening. It's Michele Ho Lung on the 29th episode of the Sparkle Experience Show. And tonight we have an interesting topic. It's about Parkinson's. It's a neurodegenerative disease. And tonight here I have joining me Ron Levinson, the CEO
Right.
of UV Cold Oxygen Plasma. So Ron, nice to see you here again tonight. It's a
Same
pleasure
here,
to
Michelle.
have you
Happy
on.
to be here.
Yeah, so I think I have a few things to say about this whole topic of Parkinson's. Someone asked me quite a few weeks ago now, do I help people with Parkinson's? And everybody knows about Michael J. Fox, and recently there's been a retired NFL player who just came forward and said he had Parkinson's. This is a debilitating disease that, you sent me studies. I did some of my own research on it, Ron. And the studies I've read so far, it says it's not something that's necessarily genetic. It doesn't correlate to be a genetic issue. More and more studies are showing that the result why Parkinson's is happening is because of pollutants, one of the contributing factor.
It's caused.
Yeah, caused by that and also pesticides. And I have a bunch of articles I can show, but what I wanted to talk about really was what sparked my interest. I was looked at the internet, and I came across this article that was a case study for this fellow. And in there, he said he used this Jode protocol. Now, I don't know if that actually works. There's a methodology. It's really an electronic file that you go and you follow what it says. And this fellow said he still had Parkinson's, but he had got rid of the symptoms. Two of the things that he said is you have to work on reducing inflammation and also eliminating the environmental toxins. And when I read that, I thought, wait a second, we have the perfect solution for it. But before we get into that, I thought I would show, let me just see if I can pull up this screen. Yeah, so this diagram is actually showing the fact that there's the brain, and what these chemicals and the pollutants do is it affects the brain, certain part of the brain. They spelled it out here. And what happens is the substantia nigra, what it does is it affects its ability to produce dopamine. And when it does that, well, the dopamine, what it's needed for is your motor functions and so forth and so forth. And so some of the treatments they use, from what I've gathered, is they use drugs that help with that symptomology. But other than that, there's not a lot. It's a degenerative disease, so it keeps on getting worse and worse.
Right. Well, that's the problem with most all these diseases. I mean, whether it be Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, ALS, dementia, they all fall into the same category. It's all affected from the brain, and it gets over a period of time as it naturally gets worse, as we know.
Right.
And science has now proven. I think you brought up that article.
Yeah, let's look at, I wanted to show, just kind of show, because there's a lot of articles, and what some of the articles, I don't remember which one exactly now, because there's so many of them I went through the last little while. The problem with Parkinson's is the medical community knows, there's research that tells us that it's environmental toxins and pollutants in the air. It's those nanoparticles especially. Like there's that study here,
particulate matter, the small particles.
Right. And so there's even this one that shows that there's a correlation between the nanoparticles, like the 2.5 nano,
Right.
the nanometer particles that cause that they can correlate where there's an increased incidence of Parkinson's in the population based on what's going on there. And so they say that there's 56% greater risk of developing Parkinson's disease compared to those regions with the lowest levels of air pollution.
Well, unfortunately, that's never going to happen because air pollution is getting worse and worse by the day. That's why what I'm preaching and doing is the cold plasma is the only thing. It's the only technology in the world that can eliminate the toxins from day one. Now, keep in mind, all the people that get Parkinson's, all disease, are more the elderly people. It happens later. It happens later in life because your immune system and all your systems have gotten weaker and weaker through life, just through the pollutions. Now, when you talked about the nanoparticles, well, science has proven it's those particles create not just the Parkinson's, but pretty much all diseases because it carries all the different pollutants and your lungs, everything naturally goes through your lungs. Well, with the cold plasma, I'm hoping that we can eliminate by people using this younger as they're
At a
younger.
younger age.
Yeah, I mean it's preventative now. There,
Well, one of the things, Ron, before you go on, one of the
go
things
ahead.
that I saw in one of the studies is that actually it's not a study, it's a statistic. What they said is that the average age of people contracting Parkinson's is 60 years old.
Right.
And it gets worse as you get older. So what that actually supports the whole idea of environmental toxins creating the problem, because as we are exposed and as the more we get the pollution in the air, we're breathing more of it in, it's staying inside, it can't come out.
Exactly.
The smaller nanoparticles, this the first there's one of the studies where it says the 2.5 nanometer, that one, the smallest particles, the problem with that size is it not only gets into your organ tissue, it gets into your bloodstream easily.
Right.
And
Right.
therefore it's going in your blood and it's going and getting into all parts of your body.
Well,
And
by
so,
living with the cold plasma, it's going to eliminate hopefully more degeneration of the actual disease, because if we're eliminating all these things throughout the years that's been attributing to the degeneration of the brain, so to speak, if we can eliminate that, they should get not as fast. It shouldn't act as fast. In other words, they shouldn't deteriorate as fast. Hopefully, by science has now shown that by breathing in this cold oxygen plasma, all the time, it's actually boosting your immune system. Now, I have a lady right now with dementia. In fact, I just talked to Pam, was on our broadcast before, showing she's using it for radon, but her mother who had COPD, we talked about that, how it eliminated her breathing treatments and she's getting better. But I asked Pam the other day, because her mother's 82 years old, so we're reaching her farther in life. But now that she's using the particular one of our machines, Pam says she's been more alert. In fact, she used to never want to wear her hearing aids, and now she wants to wear her hearing aids because she wants to be more active within her senior group of being more aware of doing things right now. So I really believe that it's helping her be healthier and not degenerate. It's not deteriorating as fast, and that's what science has proven
well,
too.
yeah, even this article here, this one by Science, the Parkinson's Foundation, it's saying air pollution is the largest risk factor to disease and premature death.
Right.
It's linked with heart disease, lung cancer, respiratory diseases, and diabetes. And
Just
plus,
so you know, just for a really staggering statistics, there's 7 million premature deaths per year directly related to air pollution.
right. So,
7
so the,
million.
the thing with Parkinson's, though, because a lot of people, what they said is there's 10 million people in the world right now with Parkinson's. And
Right.
that's 60,000. And this was a stat from the Parkinson Foundation, 2023 year, right? So just
Right.
recently last year. And they said that 60,000 they expect to have in a year more cases. So that's a staggering amount. And it's a second leading neurodegenerative disease to Alzheimer's, I believe, is a first. So my thing is Parkinson's, it's that shaking of everything, right? You can't lose a
Right.
motor control.
You lose
Um,
control. Your
and
nervous system is shot.
so there's other things I noticed, and this fellow, what interested me was if we can get more people putting in the cold oxygen plasma units in their homes. Plus, there are protocols that if this Jody protocol works, existing people with existing Parkinson's ailments, they could start looking at how do they increase their antioxidants? How do they get better at supporting the dopamine in their bodies? How do they get more? And there's a pretty interesting article because there's a doctor on one of these articles where it's this one where he has Parkinson's, and he says actually meditation helps with his Parkinson's, because getting to a Zen state where you're calm and at peace and in this good space, it helps his Parkinson's symptoms. So, my thinking is that there is a way perhaps to help those who already have it by reducing that stress on the body with the increasing number of pollutants in the air. If they get the unit, it could help to start to see, like Pam's mom, kind of a retreating of some of the symptomology. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, people don't understand this technology because there's no other technology on the planet that can literally do what it does. And people see when I say you see results, you can physically see after you have one of these in your atmosphere, all that dust that you would see normally shining in your through the light stream, you have no more particles in your air totally. There is zero particles in there for you to breathe in through your lungs anymore. Zero. And if there is any particles in the air, now keep in mind these particles are so small, but they're still like a miniature sponge. They soak up the chemicals. So anything that's in there that if you should breathe in, the cold oxygen plasma, first of all, in a matter of a split second, neutralizes those particles. Anything that's toxic in those particles is rendered useless by having the cold plasma in your atmosphere. So you're not
You
breathing in. It's a cumulative. All these
right.
different diseases over a period of time is a cumulative. Now as you get older, everything is weaker. Your immune system's weaker. Your nervous system, and that's what it's attacking is your nervous system and your immune system and your endocrine system. Well, we stop that attack. It literally will stop that attack in its tracks by having a cold plasma generator in your atmosphere. It's just a small little 10-inch unit that does all this, and people will physically see results. One of the things that is tremendously affecting the brain, and I would say Parkinson, and this is some research that I did, is one of the mold issues. The mold issue is deteriorating the brain. Well, 80 to 90% of homes and businesses have mold. That's the number one undiagnosed medical issue in the world is
Yeah.
mold. And that's part of the Parkinson issue too.
Well, one of the things you mentioned to me recently is, like, we're talking about neurodegenerative diseases, right? So you mentioned we talked about that there's a genetic part of some of these things. There's other degenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's, dementia, right? You mentioned that your family has a history. Uh,
My mom died. My mom died of Alzheimer's. She was literally a vegetable, starting probably in her later 60s. So did both of her sisters and her brother. So that's why I'm very susceptible. I'm pushing 80 years old. I'll be 79 years old, and I test my mind all the time. My mind's as sharp as a tack.
Right.
It's
So the thing though is what I'm seeing is you said also family members had Alzheimer's.
right,
If you look at
right.
anybody, probably you should be at greatest risk to be having Alzheimer's attack. But you've been using the cold oxygen plasma unit for 18 years
I've
already.
been living in it for 8. When I have that advantage because I started really using it more when I retired. So I've been retired, not having to get out in the workplace and be subject to all those other chemicals that are in your atmosphere. So I've been living in this cold plasma atmosphere. Literally, I haven't shut my machine off in 18 years. Well, you know me, you've met me. I haven't been sick in 18 years, not a cold, not a sniffles, not a flu. Now, when people see there's over 100,000 different chemicals used today,
Mm-hmm.
hardly any been tested. What hasn't been tested is the compounds. In other words, every person in every home has a different makeup of chemicals in their atmosphere. I call it a cocktail of chemicals. So no
Right.
two people are breathing the same cocktail of chemicals. That's why there's no way science could ever show that it's a combination of these chemicals or that chemicals that are creating the cancers. And this, they know it's the chemicals creating all the diseases. Now, you're bringing up the some of the products on the chemicals. Now, this process neutralizes every chemical that's toxic known to man, and there's nothing else in the world that can do that. And it's proven. You you
Yeah.
you have it posted right now, okay?
Right. So
And
the thing with it though is, you know, the chemicals are in the atmosphere, but at the same time, we need to be looking after our bodies, right? So I think you were mentioning too that you also, in as well as just having the unit running, you are very diligent about what you eat. You look at your exercise. You keep yourself healthy,
no,
right?
I'm not really diligent. To be frank with you, no, I've been retired and I take it easy. So that's why I preach this so much. I mean, I feel for my age, I feel so good and so healthy. I don't have an ache or pain in my body. I beat fifth stage prostate cancer. Okay. I've had kidney disease and my kidney function came back almost 50%.
Wow.
And I honestly believe, because I've read articles, by breathing this plasma air, it's going in your bloodstream, it's boosting your immune system, it's helping your stem cells. This isn't me talking about it, this is science talking about it. That's why it's so difficult for people to understand that this little machine can do what it does, and it does, and it's proven. So I really believe that's why I feel so good,
Right.
and
Well,
I
there's a little graphic here I found, and
right.
it shows the power of the plasma and that you're breathing out, you know, good, breathing in good, and then breathing, getting rid of the bad stuff.
Everything people
So,
don't, every disease starts with breathing through your lungs. Your lungs are the engine of your body. Your heart pumps the fuel, but everything has to go through your lungs. So when you're breathing all this in, whatever chemicals you're breathing in is being distributed through your lungs. Well, this process is sterilizing your lungs. It's neutralizing your lungs. It's helping your lungs. So it can't get into your bloodstream. See,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
fortunate enough not having to work, so I the I'm not saying that you're never going to get sick, but people, because some people go to work and they're away from their machine for hours every day. So if they pick up a germ, it has time to get into their bloodstream. With
Hmm.
me, it doesn't have time to get in my
Right.
bloodstream. But
Well,
normally, go
this
ahead.
thing is interesting here because what it says is the moment we think about air pollution, we imagine smoke, vehicle, and industrial emissions. And
Right.
surprisingly, they found that the quality of indoor air is 2 to 5 times more polluted than the outdoor air.
It can be as up to 100 times worse.
Right. So every one of us has to, and we spend a lot of most of our time indoor, especially in winter.
Yeah, but it's all indoors. That's what EPA is saying. The worst air quality there is your home. Your
Yeah.
home is the worst air quality for many reasons, because when they build homes today, they're tighter for energy. They
Right.
don't breathe, you know. So I mean, and
Yeah,
then
so the thing with it is, you know, when I think about people with Parkinson's, because this person who was asking me about whether I help people with that was really looking for a solution. Like he's battling with it. And so that's why I think, you know, the solution I think is really making sure you have you're looking after your body. You are ingesting the right kinds of nutrients. You're getting regular exercise. You're eating so that you can reduce inflammation in your body.
Right.
Taking things that are highly, the omega-3 fatty acids, diets that support that the antioxidants, making sure it's healthy. Organic, I don't know. Maybe that's a good thing too, because pesticides
Yeah, but
actually,
organic doesn't mean it's not toxic. That's a
but
misconception too
right,
for people, you
that's
know.
true. But the pesticides are one of the big contributing factors for Parkinson's. In one of the reports I read, it said that there's two pesticides. One has been banned in 30
Yeah,
countries, but it is
DDT, right,
they use it in the States, and it has doubled the last year.
right, right.
And I forget what the name of that chemical is. If
It's
anybody
DEET.
wants,
I think it's called DEETs.
is it Deets? I don't, it started with a P. So,
You
uh,
know, there's so many, like I say
but there were
today,
two that they named specifically, and they said these two have been actually identified to be causal agents of Parkinson's. And so farmers are at risk. A lot of farmers, because they're
right.
of course very close to the pesticides. So fruits, vegetables, wash your fruits, wash your vegetables. Turmeric is a good solution, from what I've read. And then increasing your dark vegetables, have green tea, eat berries, eat a lot of nice Brussels,
Antitoxins, right,
yeah, the Brussels
right,
sprouts,
right.
the
Yeah,
broccoli,
it all helps. It all helps.
cauliflower, eat those kinds of things. And then the big one is reducing the environmental toxins. So here's a solution with this cold oxygen plasma unit. It's actually a really cool unit because it's not very big. It's
It's only 12 volts, so it
12
takes hardly
volts.
any energy.
It's 3 to 6 pounds depending on the
Right.
capacity of the unit. And it's just a few buttons. It's quiet. It doesn't make a lot of noise.
And
And so this one, that would be something really good if you're looking to try and avoid, or
but
get
let me
yourself.
make this, let me make this perfectly clear to people listening in though. This is not an air purifier. Don't mistake this for an air purifier. Air purifiers do absolutely nothing for you. They're a waste of money. They actually can do more harm than good. Okay. This is not an air purifier. It's a sterilizer. There's no filters, there's no maintenance. This one unit that you have a picture of, the one that's more powerful will do 3 to 4,000 square feet in your home. That's a lot of square footage and they're very inexpensive for what they do. But if we could eliminate, keep in mind the people with the Parkinson's are still being deteriorated because if they don't eliminate the toxins, which we're talking about, it's going to keep deteriorating it. I'm hoping that maybe we'll get somebody with Parkinson's that uses one of these that can document their journey with us, because I just know how many people I've helped so far.
Mhm. Right.
Unfortunately, we can't document everybody. So just like our doctor Donna, okay,
Uh-huh.
she
But they're saying, like, okay, so even yeah, we may think that it's just about washing vegetables, but the other thing is, someone I knew loved sushi, and they ate a lot of seafood, and then lo and behold, they went to the doctor because they're having some issues, and they had mercury poisoning from what?
really, yeah.
So, these kinds of things in our today's society, where our oceans are polluted too, we need to be really cognizant of what we're taking, ingesting, and also what we're breathing in. And household chemicals, they are a big issue as well. The thing with household chemicals is that what I realized is that you may not have to sterilize that much once you get this unit in your home. You can kind of back off a bit on getting all of these different.
You can
uh
back off almost 100% because this sterilizes every surface for you. I only, you know what I clean with? All I use today is Windex because it has light ammonia in it.
uh
You don't need, because that's the issue with all these cleaning supplies that people are using. You know, they have so
Right.
many harsh chemicals in them. There's so many little things that is affecting people that they have no concept. That I give you literature like we talked about, textiles, how it's affecting 25% of the world. But another thing that's creating the Parkinson's and all these different mental diseases are what they call the forever chemicals, the stain resistant chemicals, the fire resistant chemicals. They're in everything that's made today. And then you're breathing that in, and this is what they've proven that's affecting all the children, creating the autism. It starts young. If we can get enough of these in people's hands that they can eliminate all these little things that's affecting their health, they should have a healthier life, you know. So I mean, my friends that have been using this machine for 8, 9, 10 years are all having the same results as me, being healthy. So, you know, we now have a lot of testimonials on how it's helped people, so that there's, you know, proof on what it does. And not only that, I think I gave you documentation from the company that makes this product. And they are literally, they're a 30-year-old company. It's not sold over the counter, because people ask me that all the time. If it's so good, how come people don't know about it?
Mhm.
Well, the technology is so sophisticated, you really wouldn't understand it unless it's told you and show you what it can do, because people mistake it for an air purifier. Okay. And that's not what it is. This is more of a medical device that they've used in high-end industry for years. It's used in food processing plants. So it's technology that is now coming into the forefront, where they say this is the future of medicine. They're using it for killing cancer cells. They're using it in dermatology. They're using it in dental. So people can do their own research on it. And I'm more than happy to give, you know, consult them on a one-on-one basis for their needs. But this is something that I'm hoping we can get it in every household in the nation sooner or later. I
Mhm.
read an article several months ago, right when the pandemic hit. I read an article. It was actually because they've been doing studies on this in Europe for many years. And they talked about how they tested the cold plasma and how it did all these remarkable things. And their comment was, maybe someday there'll be a machine like this for the home for around the world. And there already has been, and no one knows about it. So that's
Right.
how they, you know, so
Yeah.
we're here.
Because
I mean, you
I
wouldn't
mean,
be doing what you're doing if you didn't believe in it. So,
well, when I heard about when I on June in June when I interviewed on you on the show and I asked you about it, I was going, well, how do we not know about it? This thing is around. It does everything that you possibly could want to eliminate in your home for the air, and yet still nobody knows about it. But the other part about it is everybody I've told or shared this information with goes, their brain can't wrap they can't wrap their
no,
brains around it because
you're
they
right.
can't believe that anything could do all of the
Because
things
they never heard about it. That's
that
right.
this little unit can do.
Right.
And so I'm hoping that there's people out there who are looking for ways to get through their lives without Parkinson's, especially if they've had it happen to relatives, by watching this and really considering trying out this unit. And you have a 30-day money back guarantee, right?
Right. Well, I tell people all the time, just to go and, you know, don't believe me, don't believe you. Just go online and Google it. There's two different names for the same thing: cold oxygen plasma or cold atmospheric plasma. And you'll see scientific articles come up with pages and pages and pages of it, touting this, talking about what it's doing, and talking about the greatness in it. And then when you understand it, you can't walk into a store and buy it, and it's a shame. It's really a shame. And the only way that will ever happen, and I don't have that kind of money, is someone to spend millions of dollars and put it out there and let people know about it. And that's what you and I are trying to do, you know, one person at a time, so to speak.
Well,
But
it's not a very expensive unit when you in the
no,
whole scheme of things because it's less than an air conditioner, but it does a whole bunch. Well, mind you, be keeping cool is important when
right.
it's really hot, but it does a whole bunch more different things for your health. I have a client who wants to get the unit because her immune system is compromised due to chemotherapy for cancer she's got rid of, and uh, and she sees this as a way to keep herself safe and build up her system, because from what I have heard, or if you extrapolate what's happening to Pam's mom with having better cognitive functioning, where she's starting to get interested in playing card games again, and as you said, putting in her hearing aid, that indicates that something is happening where she's getting stronger mentally and
Well,
also
you get more energy. I mean, it's boosting your energy level. I mean, there's all kinds of, first of all, I look, there's going to be another pandemic. Might not be in my lifetime, your lifetime, but they're predicting there's going to be one, there's going to be one worse, and there's going to be the big one sooner or later. Well, they've tested this on all viruses. It kills the virus in less than a second. So you can't spread the COVID to your kids or your neighbors. It kills it instantly, and there's nothing else in the world that can do that you can live with. Now this process is 1,000 times stronger than chlorine or bleach. It's the fastest form of sterilization known to man. It's almost instantaneous.
and what's
What?
interesting is these this is just from the website here, but E. coli, salmonella,
Yes, yes,
listeria, those are very serious bacteria that really can make you sick and
very
kill.
serious. There,
And
there was there was just several deaths from the
of salmonella
listeria here.
or
No,
listeria,
listeria in the United States
listeria.
here. There was just several deaths.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was boar's head meats. They were in the delis, and several people died because it had listeria in it. I forgot how many, but this was it last month.
So this usually salmonella is when you leave meat or whatever on your counter, even fruit, and you can get salmonella
Right.
poisoning from that, and it can actually kill you. If you have cold oxygen plasma, the unit in your home, it will not grow. It will
No,
kill them.
it kills. I showed you. It will never let mold grow either. I showed you
Right.
before. You
So I'm
you
just wondering, we're coming up on 20, 35 minutes now. I'm just wondering if anybody on the call right now has any questions for you, Ron. If Malin or Ronald there has any questions. And maybe they don't, but do you have any questions, Malin? You have a unit.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of how to share this information to people face to face when some people think it's the air purifier. Um, I don't have the knowledge to really explain it, and I just say, oh, I just bought it. I'll let you know later on.
right.
But then I guess still don't know. I still don't understand about this. Did you say whole oxygen plasma? Like, what is this plasma thing?
Plasma. Your plasma is the fourth state of matter. You have liquid, solid, gas, and then plasma. You, when lightning strikes, that's hot plasma. That's plasma. Okay. Plasma has been in the universe forever. They call it nature's cleanser. Okay. That's hot plasma. This particular technology. Now, when I say the company that I represent, they're the only company in the world that holds the patent to this exact technology. But what it does inside the actual chamber, it creates what they call atomic oxygen cells that seeks and destroys. If from the day you plug it in, Malin, it could take a week to 3 weeks to 4 weeks for it to penetrate your whole home. It goes with airflow. Wherever air goes, it goes. So it takes time for it to do its thing. But if you can imagine like little Pac-Man going through your atmosphere, eating everything up, that's what it does. It seeks and destroys it, where an air purifier doesn't do anything. This will go wherever air goes, including inside your refrigerators. Places you can't reach is getting sterilized. behind you, you have all those electronic equipment, right? You have all that electronic equipment. Well, electronics today have been proven. There's a chemical that's in electronics that is astro. They use flame retardant chemicals in it, and it's heating up. But this is creating autism in children. Well, this also neutralizes that. There's so many different chemicals in our atmosphere. It's called off-gassing. Every product in your home, when they made the product, had a chemical in it to make it, whether it be plastics, like all the machines behind you have plastics today. Well, those plastics have what they call phthalates in them. It's a chemical that never goes away. This is called that forever chemical. Well, this neutralizes that. So everything in your atmosphere, everything you're breathing in, if you were to go outside and you go shopping and you pick up a germ and it's in your nasal passage and in your lungs before it gets in your bloodstream, when you come home and breathe this air, it's cleansing it, it's killing it in your nasal passage and your lung in your lungs before it gets into your bloodstream. It's hard to imagine what it does, but it does. And Maylene, I tell Michelle, anybody that wants knowledge, my phone number, I'm just a call away, and our websites have a lot of information, but I'm more than happy to educate people. And I love to educate people on what it can do, because like I say, I've been a user. I haven't shut my machine off in 18 years. And I got to tell you, I'm pushing 80 years old. So I know what it's done for me. And we've installed them in nursing homes already where they had a spread of COVID. It stopped the COVID spread within 48 hours. I've had people in the hospice dying. We put one in their room. It saved their lives. I've had people with pulmonary fibrosis that can't breathe. They started breathing the plasma air, and there's actual moisture to it too. It's actually, you can't see it, just like you can't see a virus. The actual process is 2.5 times heavier than air. That's why it takes all the particles out of your air. You'll see, you'll dust more because all the dust will be on the ground. It's not in your air anymore. So you're not breathing in those particulate matter. That's what's killing people.
So,
And then,
you might say you can't see it. If you wanna see it in a sense, I got I bought a gauge from
yeah,
a friend of mine, and when I was visiting in Toronto, I had a unit in the home I was staying in. And when I was there, I started coughing because I had left Edmonton, which had, the smoke was so thick, you couldn't see the green was gray on the tree.
right,
And, the nostrils, your lung air passages would get really dry, and I'd start coughing in the car driving to the airport. When I got to Toronto, I woke up coughing, so I plugged in the unit. When I took the reading all through the house, it was red. The everything, the small nanoparticles
right,
was red. The formaldehyde reading was red. The TVOC, which is a VOC reading, was red. And so I plugged it in, went to sleep. The next morning, the room was green. Walked out, opened the door, it got red again. So it was doing something. Now,
right.
I ran it for 2 weeks, and in that time, it would spike depending on what was cooking on the stove, right, in the kitchen, or whether I opened an essential oil that would spike it, or rum even would spike it. But what happened? It would come back down.
Yeah,
So this
because
is real
but
life, seeing it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to
right.
see
Well,
it.
yeah. Well, plus in that short time, it never filled the whole atmosphere. It didn't have a
No,
chance to fill
but
the
it
whole
did in two
atmosphere with
weeks.
it.
So, because when I went through
Right.
the home in 2 weeks, everything was green and the basement was zero.
Well,
Like no
Pam is,
formaldehyde, no TVOC, and very few particles, like less than five of the 2.5 nano particles, and there
right,
was less than that of the bigger 10 nano particles, right?
right. Well, we've been running them. The lady Pam that bought one, because she has, most people don't know, right? They never heard radon before. But radon is a killer. Radon is the #1 cause of lung cancer in the world next to smoking. It comes from the ground. It's very dangerous. People never heard about it before, but they need to. But Pam has a meter, so it was running into the dangerous area where it could literally kill you. Same thing with her. She plugged it in, and now it's in a safe zone. So we
It went
have
from
meters.
3, I think it was you said 3 or 4, which is highly dangerous, and then it went to 0.002.
No, I went to 0.027. It was very negligible, hardly negligible. You
But
know,
then the thing with radon is it keeps on coming out, so you need to keep it there because
yeah,
it
right
coming
on.
from
Yes,
the earth, this
yes,
core, Earth's
right,
core. So it
right.
is, if it has a way to come up, it's going to continue
It's
to
going to
come up.
keep coming up.
So you
But
need to
that's,
have it there, but it got it safely neutralized is
well,
what.
yeah. Plus she gets spikes of it every now and then. Like we get hot weather, sometimes it'll spike and the gauge will go up. But as I tell her, even though it's going up, she's still breathing that air. It's still cleansing her lungs, so it's still not affecting her lungs. That's the beauty of the cold plasma, atmospheric plasma. It's sterilizing your lungs all the time, every day, every minute. If you have it, it's sterilizing your lungs. So,
I have another question.
yeah,
Um, like you say, you've been using your unit for what, 18 years?
18 years.
Is it the same unit you're using? Like, is it?
Well, yeah, yeah, yes and no. It's the same unit. They've upgraded and changed the features on it, but it's the same technology.
Mhm.
It's the same technology.
What I
Yeah.
think she's asking is, are you using the same original unit, or have you had to change it?
Well, I've changed it because I wanted the newer version, but it's the
Oh,
same
okay.
tech. It's the same technology. The old version didn't have the remote. It didn't have the timers and stuff on it. It was just a low, medium, and high period. But it's the same. It's the same body. In fact, I'll find a picture of it and show you. But
Yeah.
How
but
long has your current one, the newer version, been running?
well, let's see, is 7, 8 years, 9 years now. I got
Continuous.
involved in this. I got involved back in this. I came out of retirement to help people, mainly because, Pam, I was very sickly as a child. I had rheumatic fever and I had such bad allergies. So I got involved in this for my own health. And my own health, since I started using, has been great. So before the pandemic hit, I was trying to help people with in Portland, we have mold. We have a big problem with mold. So that's where I got back involved with it. And then I started doing, I didn't even know how great of a product I had 9, 10 years ago. I know I had a good product and I wasn't getting sick. And then when the pandemic hit, I started doing a lot of research on the unit, finding out that it developed what they called photoplasma or cold oxygen plasma or cold atmospheric plasma. And that's when I started looking up all the research on what cold plasma can do for you. And that's where I found out how science is now keep in mind, we're talking many years ago already, and there wasn't all the articles that are today, because all these new articles that I sent you are in the last 2 and 3 years. My articles were 8, 9, 10, 12 years old touting it. The new articles now showing that science is saying that it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, how they're using it for killing cancer cells. It doesn't affect the good cells. I tell people just Google it and see all the different things they're using it for, and understand there's no other machine. There's many companies that do forms of medical cold plasma for dental. It's not a home unit that you would buy. It's more for the medical industry.
It's like a pen. You'd maybe get a pen and it's shooting out the cold plasma through it or something.
Exactly. Or they make them, they've used this in hospital operating rooms years ago for sterilization. It's been used in food industry for I don't know, 15, 20 years. It gives an extended shelf life because it eliminates all bacteria. It in your home, if you just like take a banana and you put a banana out, you put a banana in your refrigerator, the one out will stay yellow for days longer than the one in your refrigerator, because it's the bacteria that turns your perishables brown. It's the bacteria that ruins your meats. It's the bacteria that affects stuff. Well, this process kills all bacteria, even drug resistant bacteria. It kills all viruses.
I'm
Okay.
laughing because I'm thinking about your dental cavities you've got none.
That's another thing I had to look it up because I was curious, because through years, I can't say I've been a real dental person, but I've had like my teeth from sports. I had cracking in my teeth, and I started getting cavities years ago. But since I started using the machine, I've had zero cavities, and I looked it up. Why? Well, cavities were formed by saliva and bacteria. I always thought it was candy and sugar and stuff. Okay, it's not. And I haven't had a cavity in 18 years either. That's amazing, So it's
You don't like
crazy to
candy,
think
Ron?
about. It's just crazy when you think about the power,
Do you
that
eat
this
candy at all, you
all
don't
the
eat
time, all the
all the
time.
time?
I got a sweet tooth. I got a sweet tooth.
And no cavities. That's incredible.
I have zero cavities. No, I would love the opportunity to talk to individuals I
So
think
Malin, if you have someone who you can't explain it to and they're interested, you could just let them call Ron with them or have them call Ron themselves.
yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'm more than happy to educate you so you can talk more about it too, Pam. So,
It's Malin.
Malin, I'm sorry, I meant Malin.
Yeah,
More
you're
than
talking
happy to
about your Pam.
educate you on it also, just so you know a little bit more about it.
Okay, so do you still take a lot of supplements?
I take zero supplements. I don't look at I'm not bragging, okay, but I'm a slug. I've been retired, okay. I don't do much. Um, I beat cancer, so I went through the radiation treatment. They say I'm a walking miracle. I had 5th-stage prostate cancer, and now my last PSA was 0.00, and the oncologist, he can't believe it. Okay, so I just know what it's done for me, and that's why I'm so big on this. I'm so enthusiastic. I just know it can help so many people, um, especially with your children. It's the children that are suffering today. If you were to read, there's articles on how nasty daycare centers are, all the chemicals. Autism is like, it's a shame when you watch all the commercial on TV for the drugs. They show all the children that are getting cancer. When you think about it, 1 out of 2 people get cancer today. Think about that staggering statistic. 1 out of 2 people will get
Well, on
cancer.
the research article I had up on the screen just now, it says that the environmental toxins can be have as a cause, one of the causes for cancer, right?
It's the main cause.
Right.
It's literally, I looked up anytime I see, whether it be AFib, a heart disease, diabetes, I go online and I punch in does air pollutants create and every one of the diseases that it all comes back to air pollutants is the main cause of diseases, because there's tens of thousands of chemicals we're breathing in every day of our life.
Yeah,
Every day of our
there's
life.
also the mindset part of it too, that release of the negative emotions and stuff. I believe that that's also a factor in the disease journey, whether or not you can stave it off or
If, but
but I do agree that the environmental factors is a very high contributing,
they contribute depression. Now they contribute depression,
yeah,
anxiety to air pollutants also, because your
it
body is
changes
soaking up so much,
your whole chemistry of your
is
body.
out of whack. Right.
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
so
we're at 10 minutes too now.
oh
So
God,
I'm
we go through
thinking
this so fast.
we
I
need
know.
to do a sparkle.
Okay.
If anybody wants one today. That's part of the things we do on the show, Malin.
Yeah.
I always have I try to do a quick sparkle for everyone, so you leave here refreshed and energized. So, but thanks for that share. I mean, I hope a lot of people will watch this and get some nuggets on how to get themselves through these diseases and avoid it, better yet, by getting
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
I do believe this is the solution.
It is the only
It's,
solution. I hate to say it, but
it's
it is.
unbelievable. It sounds too good to be true, but I've been telling people it does, but
I
it's
know. I know it
true.
does.
And you have the 30-day money back guarantee. So we'll have the link. We on the show we also have your Ron Levinson, Ron Dash Levinson. That's a page to go to get the offer as well as to get more information on this, and find Ron's phone number as well and contact information. Or you can just email me and I can forward it or answer your questions too. I've got quite a bit of knowledge on this myself now.
But
So
it's been very knowledgeable, so thank you guys.
yeah, I hope it
I
helps,
did the right thing in getting one, right?
What's that?
Well,
I did the right
help
thing.
spread the word. Help spread the
Yeah, you
word.
did the very right thing to get one. So
Yeah.
let's go with the sparkle segment then, and just connect to source. Picture this beautiful tube coming down from the heavens and coming to the top of your head, your crown chakras, and allow this beautiful energy to just come in and percolate and permeate and go all through your body to whichever cell, whichever part of your body it needs to go. And just allow this energy to displace anything that's not serving you, any regrets, sorrows, doubts, fears, thoughts that are not keeping you positive. Just allow that to go through the window, through the door, or through the cord at the bottom of your foot to your very own special crystal, whether that's rose quartz or clear quartz or carnelian fluorite, selenite, whatever it is your special crystals are, and then allow that energy, Mother Earth grounding, wisdom, nourishment, blessings, to cleanse that energy. And when it's cleansed, just allow it to come back up through the other cord at the bottom of your other foot. Join this beautiful cosmic energy already going through your body and allow it to move through, giving you energy, wisdom, nourishment, healing, rejuvenating your whole being, spirit, soul, mentally, emotionally. Just allow yourself to breathe in all the goodness, all the blessings, all the love, all the nourishment, all the wisdom, and see yourself as being truly worthy, deserving, blessed. Allow yourself to receive everything, all the blessings, and allow anything that's not serving you, whatever it is, you don't need to know what it is, to leave through the window, through the door, and know that this energy is available to you all the time. Just allow this energy I'm sending out to you all to go to your root chakra, to where you can get it stored, to use it later whenever you choose to. Just allow that energy to come through, energizing your central core, your root chakra. Just allow yourself to store that energy and allow yourself to feel that energy refreshing and charging you up. Just allow yourself to see yourself so beautiful, so resplendent, so powerful, and in your knowing that you are perfect just the way you are. Just feel the love and feel the blessings and feel the energy coming through into you all around, in, about, around you, in your home that surrounds you, the air, the space, as your energy just moves through, keeping you feeling loved and protected and blessed. Just feel that energy and allow it to come in and get centered, calm, collected, knowing that everything is here for you to draw upon, to bring to you joy, happiness, love, health, vitality. Allow anything that's not serving you to leave, whatever that is. When you're ready, you can tune back in and open your eyes when you're ready and see how you are. How is that?
Real good.
That was great. There you are.
Okay, how are you feeling? Scale of 1 to 10.
10.
How's your energy? Different from before or the same?
Oh, very different. I spent 3 hours at the hospital doing some tests.
Oh,
And so, I was kind of, but all the energy is cleared, and I'm just enveloped in this clear white bubble.
oh, wonderful.
Great reminders to, you know, that I'm beautiful and I'm powerful. Yeah, that really boosted me as well.
Oh,
Good.
great. How feeling? Anything else feeling other than energy? How do you feel in your body?
Very light,
Oh, that's good.
very light, very light. Um, yeah, I feel I can tackle anything, even at
Oh,
this point.
great.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. That's one of the signs and that I see when the energy how you've allowed the energy in is that feeling of lightness and just feeling like you have the energy to go.
Mhm.
What about the mental, the headspace? What's
Clear.
happening there?
It's how do I describe it? I'm just here present with you.
Okay.
Michelle, I'm signing off, dear.
Okay, how are you feeling, Ron?
I always feel good. When I wake up in the morning, it's a good day.
Okay, good. Thanks for joining me. Joining
Hey,
us and
Lynn,
for all the
pleasure
knowledge.
talking with you. Don't hesitate to call me on anything, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, great. So thanks again, Malin, for joining us and do keep well. And on that note, I'm going to say good night.
Good night, and thank
Thanks
you.
again for coming on. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you next time. It's
Okay.
going to be October 16th with Dr. Naomi Dungelmans. She's the author of Reinvigorating the Caregiver, and she's an amazing doctor, and she is a wonderful person. So hope you'll join us the next time.